How old was
Good
Dave's mother when she
evening.
passed
This
away?
is what's new. We
86
have lovely
or
guests.
87.
We have a man and we have a lady. And we will have the show started with Iris, and she will introduce them. And we have Jean Hansen, Iris Vincent, and myself, Mary Ann Roth, and we have Bridget Warrior and Jeanette Woods. And we have Iris to start our program.
Okay, so who's going first?
Jeanette's going.
Okay, Jeanette is going to tell us. She's at Riverview. She's been there several years. So she's going to kind of just talk about Riverview. And if anybody's got any questions, call us. I think the number he can put up on the bottom of the screen for you. So if you want to call in and ask any questions, you have any concerns, or you don't understand something that either one of them say tonight, just give us a buzz and we'll answer your questions. So, okay, Jeanette, you can take off.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you all for inviting me to the program today. I'm honored and grateful, and to be real honest, I can really pontificate a long time on Riverview. So if you do this, then I'm going to make the assumption I need to wrap it up and everything. Myself, I started in the medical field as a nurse aide at St. Mary's in St. Louis on Clayton Avenue. I went to DePaul Hospital School of Nursing, and basically why I went there was the influence of the Daughters of Charity at Perryville and everything. So, and then in 1965, I married the love of my life and moved back to St. Genevieve. He promised me I'd never be bored, and et cetera, and he was right. One of the reasons was that at that time, they were really getting on the bandwagon to build the local hospital here and everything. And as you all well know, it was opened in 1969, and then also Riverview Nursing Home opened in May of 1969 and everything. Originally, when it opened, it was a 60-bed facility, and really early on, it had a waiting list, which incentivized the board at that time to add another 60 beds. They had the forethought when they built it originally. They built the kitchen to accommodate an addition and everything. So, and as the hospital, it was also considered a county facility, and it was overseen by a board of directors that were voted on by the citizens of this community. Our first administrator was Jim Grovey, and there were subsequent men and women who filled those shoes over the years, up to Gene Bosler, who retired in 2003. Early in 2000, the hospital board was approached by the local county to manage the facility and everything. So, and after a while, it just seemed logical to go ahead and combine the two services, the hospital and the nursing home, under the same umbrella. A lot of people don't know, but in the original hospital, and this room now probably is non-existent and everything, there was the one private room that was built, and that was going to be the extension then of adding beds on for a nursing home. Well, that never happened, and it ended up being where it was originally up at the park. So in 2003, the county court and the hospital signed a contract, a managerial contract, to manage Riverview at the park. At that time, I had a nursing home administrator's license, so as I've been told several times, they sent me up on the hill and everything. One
Not in
of the,
DC though. Huh? I said
no.
not in DC. It might be in better shape.
You know, one of the first things that I was very vehement about was to take nursing home out of the name, because I think that had a very negative connotation to the elderly. It said, oh, they're sending me to the home, my kids don't love me. I can remember my mother and dad. If you had to go into the hospital in like the 40s and early 50s, well, you were going to die and everything. So, and you look at what they do now in hospitals, they about can replace everything
Just
on you and everything. So, and to a certain extent, that was the same concept for long-term care. Granted, you could go ahead and stay there for long-term care, but then also you can go there, get therapy, and you can go back home and everything, or go to a level that isn't a nursing home, like for instance, like Parkwood, which is what they call an assisted living, and everything. And like I said, no longer facilities as Riverview, just a one-stop, and that you have to stay there and everything.
Now, did Riverview have rehab also? Did they do
They
rehab?
did after the hospital took it
Okay.
over and everything. That's when they then had the concept of what they called Med A or skilled care.
Okay.
If you're, say, how I like to explain that is like if you have you fall and break your hip, you go, you get it repaired and everything, and as you all may well know, hospitals just don't keep you very long anymore. And so they, you can come, if you've had 3 days with your head in the bed, so to speak, then you can come up to Riverview, and the first 20 days are paid 100% by Medicare. And then the next 80 days, Medicare will pay 80%, and a secondary insurance will pick up the 20% if people have other insurance, the secondary insurance and everything. So, which is just absolutely, a great thing for the community. And,
Right, and if somebody lives by themselves, there's no way
Right.
they can go home and take care of themselves.
And Iris, I'm glad you said something about living by yourself and everything, because another 2 programs that we have is we have daycare. In other words, if you're taking care of a family member and you're working also, you can bring that family member and they can come and they can stay. We'll provide them their 3 meals depending on what time they get there. You will have to bring their medicine and stuff. We also provide them a room that if they want to take a nap, they can. We've had a couple of people, they didn't want a room, they just wanted a recliner in front of the TV to take a nap and everything. And then we have respite care. And probably of the 2 programs, respite is used the most, because with respite care, you can, like for instance, you're taking care of somebody, and maybe you get ill, maybe you have to have surgery or something. Then you can go ahead and place your loved one in respite care for 2 weeks, and you can go ahead and have your surgery, or maybe you have to go out of town for a wedding, or just a lot of stuff that maybe in the past you would have had to think, well, I can't do that. I have this responsibility, this obligation. I have to take care of it. Again,
No, I didn't know that was available.
No, I
Yes.
didn't either.
That's great.
and the other thing is, a couple of times we've had people like, say, you're sick, and maybe you're also taking care of your wife at home. Well, you can both come in. One of you will come in as a resident, and the other one can come in then as respite.
Well, I didn't
So,
know that.
which
Good.
really is,
Yeah, it's really-
it's good to.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So, and the other thing, we offer a plethora of activities at Riverview, and I will have to admit that I brought, like, this is just, I know they can't see this on the TV or anything, but you can see that all the days are filled up on all of these and everything. We don't need much of an excuse to have a party.
So that's your monthly calendar.
Right,
Yeah.
monthly calendar and everything. So, and by far, bingo and music is the number one thing. Miller Band, they still come, although Mr. Miller went to heaven and
Right.
everything.
She plays her accordion.
Yeah, Jackson, the Roths, I don't want to miss anybody. Bob Kist and Huck, I can't think of his first name. He's-
Just Quentin? Is
Yeah,
that who-
Quentin.
Oh, yes,
You know, they love that music.
Oh, I bet, especially that country music.
You betcha, you
The
betcha.
waltzes and that kind of stuff.
And everything. And again, there's a saying that music soothes the soul, and that is so very true, particularly those residents who maybe are have a form of dementia or confusion or something like that. You turn on music and it just soothes the soul.
Makes a
Right.
difference. Makes a
And the
difference.
same thing with the rosary.
Right.
They all, even if they can't think straight, they will
still- and
say
they
the
still
say the
remember
prayers.
that.
And yes,
Mhm.
that is amazing.
And, you know, Riverview is not about me, but it's about those caregivers who tend to meet their needs on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. If you'd ask me what's my biggest challenge at Riverview, I'd tell you is keeping help and having help.
Yeah.
It's a hard job.
Yes.
It's a very difficult job, and those men and women who are CNAs, they work very, very
Very
hard.
hard,
I
right.
did that job once, a
Right.
long time ago. I love old people.
And then the hospital, after about 18 months, actually bought Riverview and everything. But you got to remember that the county still maintained the building. But the county owned Riverview just like they own the hospital, so to
Right.
speak. And then it continued like that until October 29th of 2009, and that's when the Malik Corporation bought Riverview. And even at that time, there was a lot of conversation, and a new facility was kind of on the drawing board. So 5 years later, ground was broke in 2014, and then 18 months later, on July the 16th, 2016, we moved 67 residents from Old Riverview to New Riverview, and we did that in one day. Now, Mr. Malik, my boss, Shafiq, said we're going to do it in one day, and I told him, and you're crazy, because I just couldn't see moving that many people. But I tell you, the ambulance came forth. A lot of people really stepped up to the plate and helped us. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we had those 67 residents moved.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Good.
land.
That's good.
We also went from a facility, Old Riverview, that was 37,000 square feet, to our current building now is 52,000 square feet.
Beautiful, too.
It's all on one, there's no elevator, no steps. in the old building, the laundry used to be downstairs, and when the elevator didn't work, we had to push the laundry up around the hill and in the front of the building, which was not the best of things. The facility itself is almost like 4 individual units.
Right.
There are what we call neighborhoods, and they are delineated by the covering that you see on the wall when you come in. They're like murals. They're papered murals. Like one is a mountain lake, so that's Mountain Lakes. The other is Sunset because it's orange over the water. One is green fields, and the other is purple. It's purple mountain flowers. They're purple flowers. And so that is somebody leaves their neighborhood and they're coming back and everything. They hopefully, when they see that mural, they'll recognize this is where I live. Each of those neighborhoods have a kitchenette. So the food is cooked in the kitchen, the main kitchen, brought out, put in the heating elements and stuff, and then served out of a serving window there. Each neighborhood holds 30 residents. So the dining area is about 30 people can eat there. A lot of people like to eat in their room and everything, and it is their right. I don't like for them to, because I think they need not to be looking at the same 4 walls all the time.
They need to be among people.
Well, and just get out and
socialize
and everything. Let's see. Again, I talked about, you asked what our struggles are, and like I said, it's getting enough help and everything. Just a couple of things I want to conclude with is, first of all, that Shafiq Malik, who owns Riverview, has really committed himself and his family to this community. He built a state-of-the-art facility that we as St. Genevieve citizens can really be proud of for many years to come. And I guess the second thing I want to say is that I went to Riverview never thinking that I would stay. When I found out that the hospital was going to sell the facility, I just thought, well, I'll go back to the hospital and everything. But stay I did, and as indicated by my gray hair, I have some years on me, and I hope I can put some more on. But when it's all said and done, I can just tell you I saved the best for last in my professional career. And again, thanks for asking me, to the listening audience. Thank you.
Good.
Well, we're happy that you came on.
That's and you said
Very
you didn't
interesting.
think you'd have anything to say.
Yeah.
You
That's
have a very good
wonderful.
outline there, and you did it very well.
I just, you know,
So if anybody out there listening has any questions you want to ask about the Riverview or even the hospital, I think they can be answered. Yeah. So,
And Charlie did put the number up on the screen. So,
okay, so
thank
now
you.
we will go to Mr. Bowyer.
Sarah,
And he's got,
Sarah, I got Sarah on the brain, I'm sorry.
Jeanette.
Janet,
Jeanette.
if you have someplace to go, I mean,
no, I'm fine.
oh, good. We always like to tell our folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to thank y'all for having me here today. And I would like to talk, first of all, about the American Legion Hall here in St. Genevieve, which was founded back in 1919. And it's been thriving ever since. It's been in the same location, but in a different building over there. There was an old house over there at one time, and that's where they had the first Legion Hall. Then when they had enough money, they built the new one, and it's, like I say, it's been going for a long time. And a lot of people really don't realize what the American Legion does for the community around here, you know. And they think it's a place to go drink beer and just talk, but we do a lot of donations, and we help out you know, like the veterans homes and Salvation Army. We do the scholarships at the school, and American Legion baseball, just the Boy Scouts. We take care of the Boy Scouts. We got 2 Boy Scout troops there. We got 3 American Legion baseball teams that we fund every year, and we got a freshman league and a junior league and a senior league. But we donate over $40,000 on the average every year to different organizations in need for money. Like I say, the veteran Camp Hope is another one that we do.
That's good.
So we do a lot of donating, you know, and we got a lot of good people. I'm the commander there, and I have a lot of good people that help me out day after day. They just step up, you know, whatever we need. They're willing to go the extra mile for me, you know, and I really appreciate that. And that's how we, you know, we do the things that we do. We have to have good help. And,
St. John's good with volunteers.
I'm sorry?
St. John is good with volunteers.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, when it started with the World War I veterans, they were the first American Legion people that joined back there, but most of them's already passed on. We still have a few left. And then we went to the Korean War people. They come in and join. And now the Vietnam people are the most active in the American Legion, with the exception of a few, you know, the older gentlemen there. So then the Afghanistan War, all these people coming in, you know, but it's kind of slowed down. At one time we was over 800 members at the American
Oh my
Legion.
goodness.
And now we're down to about 424. But what's helped us a lot is the SAL, the Sons of the American Legion. They were able to join the American Legion through their father, their mother, or grandpa, or great-grandpa. So we got over 200 of them on board. And the American Legion Riders come aboard, and we do a lot of work for the Legacy Fund, which helps the firemen and the soldiers that are, you know, injured in the line of duty, and we provide them with money for scholarships and their schooling and housing and whatever, you know. We raise money for them every year. And then we got the Lady Auxiliary that come in, and they do a lot of work for American Legion. They go to Camp Hope and the Veterans Home. They play bingos, you know, with the people down there and things like that. So they really help out. But we have a good group of people, and we're hoping, you know, to get the younger people to come aboard again, you know, because our membership is dwindling down. So we're needing more people to come aboard. And I know there's a lot of them out there, and now we're getting to have a few people that letting their dues lapse, you know, not rejoining right now, and then we don't really know why. It's only $30 a year to join, so but some of them are delinquent. We would encourage them to come back and join. You can get your money back, just like our Christmas party. When you come to our Christmas party, somebody, I guess you all been there, some of them maybe have. And everything's free. All your food, all your drinks and everything for the night, and the band, the music and everything's free. Veterans Day, we have all, you know, recognize all the veterans. And again, we have a big meal for them, and it don't cost anything, you know, but for $30 a year, it's well worth it. And you get to meet a lot of good people.
That's not much.
No, it's not no money at all.
Not for what they do.
Exactly. Like I say, we donate to a lot of good things.
So do you have fundraisers or?
Yeah, we, the SAL, they have a lot of fundraisers going on. They either have gun raffles, they got what they call a meat board, and they spend it and you can win so much on the meat board, but they take all the money, half of it, and bring it back into the American Legion for their scholarships. They provide a lot of scholarships to the schools. I think they're right now doing $500 to the schools up here.
Well, that's
both
great.
Valley and St. John every year. And that's what we do too. We donate to the scholarship fund up there. And the, I guess everybody's heard about the Vietnam Wall down in Perryville.
Yes,
We
that's
donate to them,
beautiful.
yeah. And they got a grand opening coming up on the 18th and 19th of April. And they're gonna have a lot of people down there. If you're willing to get on a Huey helicopter, they're gonna give rides down there if you've never flown on a helicopter.
Not
So
yet.
that's gonna be a good experience. I've
Yeah,
been there and
I
done that, so
remember
I know what that's all about, but,
That wall is amazing.
yeah,
Oh.
it is.
You
And-
don't realize how many people gave their lives.
Exactly.
All that
68,300 and some odd
Yeah,
kids,
it's
men,
sad.
women, and young people, you know. a lot of people don't know a lot about the wall, but it's a good opportunity to go down there on the 18th and 19th and take a tour. You know, there's some amazing people that's on that wall down there.
Where's it at?
In Perryville
I
on
know.
AC, you go down 61, it's about 4 miles just out of Perryville, a new road they built called AC. And it's only out there half a mile maybe, it's on the left hand. You can't miss it once you get on the road.
Right.
Yeah, it's, and those, I mean, they tell you all about the wall. Some of the people that's on there, like the youngest soldier that was killed in Vietnam, was 15 years old. He lied about his age when he went in. He went in when he was 14.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
Oh
they
my
did that
gosh.
all the time in the
Yeah,
Revolutionary War and
Second World War.
First World War, yeah.
yeah. But he was the youngest one, and like I said, there's 68,000 plus
My
on the wall
gosh.
down there that
Did
made
they
the
get the
ultimate
museum?
sacrifice.
Yeah, did they get the museum? Have they done anything with
They're
it?
in the
yet?
process, they
Are
don't
they?
have it fully equipped yet,
Oh,
but they
okay.
do have a few artifacts in there that you can look at when you go down there now.
Okay, because when we went, it wasn't
Yeah, there
open
wasn't
yet.
nothing in there
Right.
yet. The donations is slowed down coming in, and it takes a lot of money to build
Oh,
it.
definitely.
A lot of money, because it is the exact replica of the one in Washington DC.
Mhm.
The same granite, you know, and
Oh,
everything about it is identical. And when this one's done, it's gonna look almost like the one up there. They're gonna have a reflection pond out there where you can go out there and sit around, you know, and just a lot of good things. But it's gonna take a little while to get it completed.
Yeah.
So if anybody's wanting to donate to the wall, I mean, it's more than welcome. We got a big fundraiser coming up this Saturday down at the American Legion Hall in Perryville. They're having a big dinner down there, an auction and everything, and they're gonna try to raise a lot of money to help out on the wall. I don't know if anybody's heard about the barbecue, the cook-off they had down at Richardi's this last,
It was in the
about
paper.
weekend, 2 weeks ago.
It was in
And
the
they
paper
raised over
today.
$40,000 down there to
Oh,
donate
that's
to the
great.
wall.
Wow, that's a lot.
But,
That's a lot of barbecue.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Did you say they're having a museum down there?
They're gonna have a museum when it's all said and done, and they're wanting to have a cemetery down there.
What are they gonna put in the museum? Is just,
And the
It's
museum
there.
is already, the building's already there,
oh, okay,
but it's just getting it completed so they can bring the artifacts in from
And the
Vietnam War and things like
And I
that.
think
And
we
the
may have-
inside has got a lot of photographs that
Yeah.
are very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
we were, I think what you were maybe thinking of, Miriam, where do the artifacts come from? People, can
different people donate them, bring them in, yeah. And even inside the visitor center down there, there's a lot of paintings in there, a lot of history in there that you can look at, a lot of information on the wall.
It takes a long time to go through there.
Oh,
By
yeah,
the time you
yeah,
walk to the wall and read
Yeah.
everything in there, you
Yeah.
the
spend
reason
some
why I'm
time there.
asking is that I got my father's uniform from World War II,
yeah.
and I don't know what to do with it.
Don't
I'd
know
like
what
to
to do
give
with
it
it.
someplace that's in
Yeah.
pretty shape, good shape.
We have a lot of people, they used to bring them over to the American Legion,
Yeah,
and then we got some on display over there, but we're running out of room where we can put
Yeah.
shadow boxes up, you know, we got shadow boxes for the Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines over there, you know, that you can, even in our hall, that you can look at over there, you know, but there's a lot of people would like to donate their uniform to the American Legion, but
No,
You know,
What
it's
about
sad,
the,
but-
what about the wall museum? Do you think
yeah,
they'd
what
be
about the
interested?
museum? Is there any place I can donate this?
Well, right now, I'm thinking they do have quite a few down there, but if you want to donate it, yeah, they will take it.
Well, see,
I'm
Dad
almost
was-
positive.
But they considered it Army, but it's
Yeah.
now the Air Force now.
Yeah,
He was a branch that turned from the Army to the Air Force,
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
because he worked on airplanes.
yeah,
He did sheet metal on
Mechanic.
airplanes over in World War II.
okay.
And
Yeah.
I was wondering, because I've got that uniform, I don't know what to do with it, and I
You know,
hate for it to, it's complete. I mean, I've got the
Yeah.
hat, the tie, everything. I've got the short jacket.
Yeah. Like I say, we've had quite a few people bring them over to us, and why, the hardest part for me to understand is why don't the children
Want those.
want this stuff? You know, but it
I've-
seems like
I've
they
kept
don't.
it.
Well, because they're in a throwaway generation.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
I even
And one of
have,
these days, they're gonna be wishing, oh, I wish I.
Yes.
I wish I had it
that."
back, yeah.
I still have it, and I've got it there.
But if you want to bring it by the Legion and we will do something with it. Maybe, you know, I can take it down to the wall. I'm gonna be down there quite a bit. I go down every Tuesday, and we go down there with a group of guys, and we sit around, drink coffee, and talk, you know, and stuff. We don't talk about the war, but we just have a good time, you know.
That's great.
And we go out, you know, and look at the wall and remember our friends that was with us that
Yeah.
paid the ultimate sacrifice, you know. And we sit there and we visit, you know, but we don't talk about our bad times in Vietnam. No, we talk about the good times, but
Yeah.
we don't want to talk about the bad times. So.
No, you don't. No, that's for
But,
sure.
Okay.
And then on another note that I think everybody knows about the Purple Heart City in St. Genevieve now.
I was just gonna ask you about that, if you would explain it.
Yeah. Well, we at American Legion, we met with the board of directors and the city council on the 14th. And we had talked to them before that about making St. Genevieve a Purple Heart City. And I went in there on the 14th and I took some VFW people, some auxiliary ladies, some SAL, and some American Legion riders with us. And then they presented us with a proclamation stating that St. Genevieve is a Purple Heart City now.
Oh,
What does
So-
that entail, Virgil? I mean, you said something where you're going to be putting up signs and is
In town
just,
here?
just a name or?
Well, the signs that we got printed up right now, the bigger ones is gonna be St. Genevieve, Purple Heart City on them. And then the smaller ones you see along the highway, it says the Purple Heart Trail,
Okay.
leading you to the Purple Heart City. And Perryville's already a Purple Heart City. They got there just before we did.
Uh-huh.
And being a Purple Heart City isn't just for the people that had a Purple Heart from the war, you know. We want to recognize and keep thinking about our veterans. It could be the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, everybody. We want people to remember them and honor them and give them, you know, the thanks that they deserve. Because, like you say, the younger generation is kind of forgetting about the veterans. And if it wouldn't be for all the veterans that
They
did fight in the
wouldn't have
war,
that freedom.
we wouldn't have what we got
That's
right now.
right.
So, and that's why we want to put St. Genevieve on the map as a Purple Heart City. Now, it's gonna go to national on the Legion side, and they'll print it in magazines, and just
Great.
about ready to, got the paperwork done, but I gotta send it to the Purple Heart magazine, and they're gonna be putting it in the Purple Heart magazine.
Announcing that.
And it'd be nationwide then, and, because there's a lot of people that follow the Purple Heart Trail, go around different cities. And then with the wall being here too, with all the
Right, yes.
recipients down there on the wall, people
Yeah.
going to the wall, we're hoping they come up here
Yes.
and visit St. Genevieve and the restaurants and the old houses and everything we
Right.
got. So that's why we wanted to do it. But
Good.
we all got
That's
together
great.
and talked about the proclamation, and they granted us one, so that was great.
That is.
Can you, I know, I'm sure you can't give an exact number, an idea of how many Purple Heart recipients we have at the Legion?
At the Legion right now, we got 33 medals that we house there right now, but there is a lot more than that here in St. Genevieve.
Yes.
And the VFW, I don't know how many exactly they got up there yet, but there is a lot of Purple Heart recipients here in town. But, well, you know, a lot of them are deceased right now, but,
Yeah, yeah.
but what, if anybody out there has got a Purple Heart from their grandpa or family members, if they want to put it on loan to the American Legion, we'll put it in our display case over there, and you can come and get it anytime you want it. I mean, we don't own it, we just want to display it with their name underneath of it, and, you know, and show the sacrifice that they made. Or even if they didn't make the ultimate sacrifice, if they just got wounded or something,
Yeah.
bring it over here. You know, we'll be glad to display it for you. And if you ever want it back, just come say, I'd like to have my Purple Heart back, my dad's Purple Heart or whatever, and, you know, there'd be no questions asked. We'll give it right back to you, so. But we have, like I say, 33 right now. So,
I
That's
noticed we have some, I say we because I am with the auxiliary and vice
Right.
president with the auxiliary. And we're setting up displays of photos and things of the different wars in the different areas.
Mhm.
And they're looking real nice, putting the extra lights on over them and everything.
yeah. Now, inside our club room over there, we got a lot of stuff displayed over there. Some of you all remembered Steckley, Henry Steckley.
Yes.
He was in World War II.
Two.
Yeah. And he was there during D-Day when they signed the papers about declaring D-Day. And he was on a submarine, and they had this big ship that they all signed the papers on. They got about 6 or 8 submarines out there that was surrounded it, you know, and we got all that information displayed over there. In fact, we're in the process of getting the Steckley family down here to take them over there and take a picture with them and
Oh, that
show
would
them
be
what we
great,
done.
huh?
Oh,
So,
that'd be nice.
yeah. And we got a lot of memorabilia over there that
Yes.
people can look at. I mean, anybody can come in. If you just want to come in and look around, just come up and knock on the door
They'll let you in.
and they'll let you in. Yeah, yeah, we won't turn nobody down. So,
That's good.
but anyway, like I said, I'm the commander there. I've been the commander for 2 years now, and my term's coming up again in July. But it looked like I may be there again.
Isn't that
I
what
don't-
happens around here?
Once they get you in there,
You
they
do a
keep you.
job, yeah.
Yeah.
You do a
Boy,
job.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I got a lot of good people that help me out, and
Oh,
that's
yes.
what makes my job a lot
Oh, yes.
easier. They're willing to help and do our newsletter and all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate that. And I've been here in St. Genevieve all my life since 73 years now. So.
You're a true bred
You're
St.
old.
Genevieve-ian.
Yeah, St. Genevieve. Yeah.
Genevieve.
Born and raised here.
Yeah.
So.
That sounds all right.
So if anybody's got any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Well, the only thing I'd like to make a comment is that every year they come up to Riverview and honor our veterans
Yeah.
that we have, and that
Yeah,
is
we
a
go
very-
up to Riverview and Parkwood Meadows and the Care Center, and we take shirts, T-shirts with their name on it and the branch of service on them, we hand it to them. And thank them for their service that
Oh,
they
that's
did.
great.
So, yeah, we do it every year. Yeah.
That's a beautiful place up there. I was up in there. I had to take a cake in there.
Yeah.
I was up there in front, so it's really nice.
So how many fundraisers do you do a year?
Oh.
I mean, like you do barbecues and what else? Horseshoes, you still?
We do fish
horseshoes?
fries and things like that, and
do you?
like I say, on Veterans Day, we honor all the veterans,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really get to raise money then.
Right.
We put out more money than we raise on that, something like that. But the Legion Riders, we go on poker runs and things like that.
Oh,
We
okay.
sell raffle tickets and all kinds of stuff to raise money for the Legacy Fund, and that's
So
for
you
the firemen
do,
and people like that. And,
You do a lot of advertising for that?
yeah.
So what I'm getting at is.
We try to get it in the
when you-
newspaper. We don't,
Okay.
I mean, we try to get it on radio. We have never put it on TV yet or anything, but,
Okay, so anytime you have something, you want to come.
yeah.
Come
Yes,
talk
come
about
let
it.
us know.
We have, I think, probably, there's younger ones listen, but mostly it's a lot of the people that
Yeah.
can't get out. But then they have sons and daughters, and
Exactly.
they can pass that on. Yeah.
Our biggest advertising is by newspaper, mostly.
Yeah.
And word of mouth, and we put up signs.
Yeah.
That's how we
Yeah.
mostly advertise.
Well, anytime that you have something coming up.
Yeah.
Now, we'll be having Poppy Days coming up in a few months and things
Yeah.
like that. And I'm going to see about having some of the
Yeah.
auxiliary ladies come in too on that.
And another thing that I would like to mention too,
Do you have
we're gonna
anything
try to
about
get the
Riverview?
businesses here in town to recognize the Purple Heart City. We would like for them to, if they can, to put a Purple Heart parking spot in front of their business. People like Ace Hardware, Country
Oh,
Mart,
yeah.
and places like that, like Walmart's got. The signs are only $27, and we get them printed up down in Perryville. And then a bucket of paint to paint the purple on the ground, you know, for your parking areas. But it just signifies that people are thinking about our veterans, you know.
And they really need to, more
Yeah,
so than
exactly.
they do.
Yeah, I'll go along with that
A
100%.
lot of respect needs to be.
Yeah. But we're going to get a committee together and go around and talk to the businesses and see, and even, you know, get the 10% off like Hardee's and everybody else does on their food. Lowe's give you 10% for the veterans. But on the sad side of the whole thing is that nowadays there's a lot of people going around and buying hats with Vietnam, I served, you know, and all that. But they've never been in the service.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, you wouldn't think that would happen, but it does. and just to get the 10% or something like that. So that's why we encourage everybody to go to the VA and get them an ID card, if you can, and then when you ask for your 10%, show them your card, and there's no questions asked.
Right.
You know, so.
People will do anything for free.
They will nowadays.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, gone are the days of total honesty.
Yeah, exactly, and respect.
And respect,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. So.
for sure.
Well, can we think of anything we want to
That's a
ask either
pretty
one of these
folder.
people?
Do we have anything we'd like to ask Jeanette?
I would like to know how they came with the name Riverview. At the park, I understand.
Well, because it was
Riverview.
Yeah,
View.
on the bluff.
on the bluff up there,
I know, I see
and when the
Riverview.
river's up, you could see
Yeah,
the river,
I bet
and
you
then
did,
the park was right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
you can
nice
see the
name for it.
river when the leaves are off the trees too, because I can
Yeah.
see them up at my hill. Well, my hill's higher than Riverview
Yeah.
though.
And then, we just basically kept the name because,
Oh,
we've got a water park now, and,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be
And a
something.
Riverview and a water park. That's
Yeah.
great.
Now you got a water park view.
Kids will be tickled over that.
so anyhow.
Yeah. I don't know if the news, I know it hasn't been out yet, but St. John High School up there is doing an honor wall inside their high school
Oh,
up
are
there.
they really?
Yeah, they got a big long hall that you walk down to go to the lunchroom.
Right.
And on this wall, they're gonna have 2,300 names of veterans in St. Genevieve and St. John County
Oh,
on
how
that wall
wonderful.
when it's complete.
Is that for all the wars, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, from World War One,
on that?
two, all the way through.
Oh,
There's
my
20
goodness.
There's 2,300 names that we had listed,
Oh, my gosh.
and they're gonna print all them up and put them on
That's the DC.
Yeah, because I think that's
also.
neat when you go in that back door church,
yeah.
all the World War ones are on there.
Right.
The ones
Yeah.
that lost their lives, yeah.
And this will give the kids up there an opportunity to know, remembrance of
Right.
people that were
Yes.
served.
Yes.
When they walk by there, you're not gonna help but to look over there and see all them names.
Right.
And we're gonna have probably a section for the Purple Heart people, and stuff like that too, so. But that's gonna be good.
That's going to be real.
But
So
it's
are
gonna
they
take a little
going
bit of
to
time.
paint them on the wall, or?
I don't know exactly how they're doing it. We implemented it here about 3 months ago.
Oh,
But now they're
okay.
in the process to see the best way to put it on the wall. I don't know
Okay.
if they're gonna have it framed out and then stick it on the wall, or if they're gonna have a mural there and stuff like that. They're still in the process of getting it all done, so
Well, that's really great.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well.
You gotta see my dad's name up there.
Yeah. Tell them about it.
Yeah.
A lot of good things happening.
Oh, yes, that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Great.
Always
and
something.
you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
And I think those people.
Always something new and exciting in St. Genevieve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you don't have to look too far to find something to do.
Nope.
exactly.
Oh, no.
And I'm just glad St. Genevieve is the way it is. We don't have the crime and stuff like they do in St. Louis.
No,
It's getting terrible.
no, I wouldn't
You know,
want
when you
It's a
can't
nice,
walk out
peaceful
your
little town.
door.
When you can't
So-
sit in your living room without getting shot. That's terrible.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that lady's in critical condition, what I understand.
I think she was shot in the head, didn't she?
No, in the back.
Oh, my goodness.
She was sitting on the couch.
In her
Yeah.
living room.
There's a lot of innocent people being shot up there. You could be
Yes.
sitting in your car and they shoot you.
Or
Yeah,
driving
they-
down the highway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What's the matter with people? I
know.
mean, why would they want to do that?
they don't seem to have any interest in life.
I don't know,
Oh, life is wonderful.
Hard
Mentally ill.
question.
you know. And, a lot of that stuff going on, and the parents have to know how their kids are acting and what they're doing, a lot of times, and they try to push it to the side, but sometimes it's too late,
Right.
and they go ahead and commit the crime, and it's
Maybe
too late
they
then.
have no control.
Yeah,
They need to
No.
put them in the Army or the Air Force or one of the services and let them go through basic training.
when we was all in high school, we had to draft. you know, and they had a number for you. Once you got out of high school,
That's
if you didn't
right.
join, you was gonna have to join, you know, and that's what happened to me. I joined just before my number was up, and, but I would like to see, myself, would like to see the draft come back again. I think it would change the lives of a lot of young people around.
Oh,
I don't want them to go to war.
They need
That's the last thing I want them to do, to go to war. but They go into service for 6 months to 2 or 3 years,
They need the discipline.
discipline.
Most
That's
of
the biggest thing.
countries, like
Yeah.
you, they really.
Because they've taken it out of the schools more or less, like we just, you know, when we was in school,
Yeah.
if you did something wrong,
You had it at home too,
at home
not
too, yeah.
just at
And
school.
if you
Sat in the
have to
principal's
serve
office
2
for a
years
while.
in the, I think it's the Army there, I think they only have
Yeah.
one, but 2 years in the service, every young person.
It wouldn't hurt
Who's
them at all.
18, they spend.
And they can still make a career out of
Israel.
themselves when they get out, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
And it gives them training in there, and schooling and everything, so
exactly.
it would be good.
It would be good, very
Yeah.
good.
Kathy was in service 22 years, and she's a nurse. She
Yeah.
went into service, and that's what
Exactly.
she did there, and she's a nurse now.
Yeah.
My daughter was in the Air Force, and then she got out of the Air Force, and she was in the Army Reserve for almost 10 years.
We got quite a few of them, the high school kids now joining the service.
Yes.
They're going
Yes,
in and,
there is.
I think they're realizing that there's not
Exactly.
too many jobs around,
yeah,
and that's a good way to get a good education.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not a lot of security on jobs anymore,
No.
unless you're a computer whiz or something like that, you know, but,
There's not.
No, that's for sure. You could have a job one day and the next day you're,
looking for another one.
Downsized.
Yeah. Downsizing, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you know why it's downsizing? Because they're inventing more things to take the place of human being,
Yeah.
and I think that's wrong.
Everything's computerized.
Yeah,
And
I
there's
think
one
that's wrong.
place-
I
one
think when they
place-
started with computers and everything, I think they screwed up the whole world.
Cell phones,
Because that's
Yeah.
all you see. When you go down the road, you see a kid like this driving and looking on a stupid computer. That just irritates the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
get on your bandwagon, Mary.
I am. They just don't assume responsibility for their life or the life of anybody
yeah.
else.
It's sad, you know.
Yeah.
It is.
And we've all experienced with our grandkids and stuff, they come over and visit you and they're sitting there on the phone.
Yeah.
My
Texting.
grandkids, I could knock their heads
You know.
together.
I think every family should say, basket,
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you leave, you can have them back.
I tell my grandkids.
Because you know
"Listen
what?
to me."
When they're doing it, you wind up doing it too.
yeah,
And that's what's really sad.
it is,
Yeah.
it is.
It's
So
terrible.
if you take their cell phones away from them, they won't come see you anymore.
Well, that might be true. That could be.
Yeah.
That could very well be.
So, we live with it,
Yep, that's right.
so.
think it's-
Hoping things will change. So if neither of you have anything else to talk about?
I don't unless you have,
No question?
I thank you for coming.
Yes, thank both of you
I
for
learned a lot
coming.
about
Yeah.
Well,
out there.
We appreciate being
I
here.
thank
See
you.
Yeah.
how easy that was, Virgil?
It was easy.
He was scared too.
I may be down here more often.
We always tell everybody it's like sitting around the kitchen table talking.
That's what I
Exactly.
told you.
Yeah.
Yes.
and it was.
It is,
It is.
yeah,
We
It's
don't stand on
very,
airs.
very unintimidating.
yeah. Yeah, if we got something coming up,
Yeah.
we'll definitely let y'all know.
If you got
Just
anything
get
coming
Maybe come
that
down
you
and
want
put
to
a
bring
spotlight
up
on it or
to,
something.
Yeah,
come
be
back
sure
or
to-
send somebody,
Because we always work
you
together.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And then when you do, then give something specific, I mean, like you did the Purple Heart,
Yeah,
like what you want to promote, and then that can be in the newspaper also.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
And you
great.
too, if something new
Yeah.
comes up at Riverview or something you want to let people know about, please let us know.
Okay.
Okay, so our next show, all you animal enthusiasts are going to love it, because we have
Terry Kay.
Terry,
Dr. Cavens.
we have Terry Cavens, and we have Tracy Anheuser, and we have
What's he?
David Barton. And he's the rescue, works at the animal rescue. Terry Cavens is Forest Valley, and she's also a doctor. And she also is a painter of commissioned animals.
Beautiful.
She does really good dogs and cats and horses and whatever. She's
Tracy,
very good. And then Tracy Anheuser,
She's a veterinarian.
The veterinarian?
Yes, she's a veterinarian. In fact, I think I saw as I was coming home from Festus up north of here, Anheuser Animal Hospital or something. So it might have, she,
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
I
she
think
might have
so.
something to do with that.
And then the last Friday of the month, Ally Kavanaugh is going to be on. She's
Yes.
really moving up in the art world.
Mhm.
She's got a book now that's great. You can order it off of Amazon. It's beautiful. It's got 250-something pictures in it. And it's all of her art from the time she started, all the phases she went through.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And then she's been on the cover of magazines, and she was on a UK magazine the other day. She didn't even know she was going to be on. I mean, it's just her book, that
Yeah.
picture, but she
Yeah.
didn't know they were even going to do that.
I've seen my
So
daughter
she's-
has one.
She's going to have a book signing on the 26th of April when she does the Millie Nager paintings that she did 10 years ago. It's the 10th anniversary of that, so. And that'll be at Bill Nager's place down there
Mhm.
in the empty side.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting, and that'll be on our fourth Friday Art Walk, which the art community now is under I can't remember what they named it. Anyway, it's, I think it's the art community maybe. Anyway, they've got a board now that runs that, and they're doing more advertising of it in more places, so. Now that it's getting warmer, when it's February and March, it's too cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get out and walk, but everybody said March was nice out. It was too cold for me, it was 50-something. Yeah.
It needs to be in the 75 and 80 range.
Yes, where you can sit out at the tables and
Exactly.
enjoy yourself, visit with people,
Yeah.
have a glass of wine and a sandwich and whatever, yeah. So the fourth Friday Art Walks are going strong now. That's every fourth Friday, every month, all the way up till November, so.
Mhm.
Our Legion meetings is the second Monday of the month, right?
Second Monday of the month. Yeah.
Anybody's
Yeah.
welcome that got their daddy in the service or anything like that. They're
Yeah.
welcome. Come and
And if anybody's got any questions and want to know more about the Purple Heart City, they can feel free to give me a call
And
or
your
contact
number
the American
is-
Legion.
Okay, well, you want to give your
Yeah.
telephone number?
get
I
the
can give my
Legion
cell phone number. It's 573-225-4296.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to answer any questions they may have. And
Okay.
if they want to help out on something, we'd appreciate it.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah.
And also for those watching, if you want to tell your neighbors and friends and everybody, you can pick this up on YouTube after Thursday. And tomorrow morning at 1 o'clock, they'll do a rerun. And then at 7, 1, and 7, every Wednesday Wednesday and Thursday, they do the reruns of this.
Mhm.
So if
On
your
Wednesday and
friends-
Thursdays?
Yeah, it's on
So you can
Wednesday.
watch yourself.
Thursday is at 1 o'clock in the morning, so,
That's kind of,
I think
yeah, that's kind of.
either late or early,
Yeah,
whatever you want to
yeah,
call it.
if you're working evenings, it's okay, but
Yeah.
otherwise. At 7 in the morning, and at 1 in the afternoon, and at 7 at night.
Okay.
But then on YouTube, St. John TV YouTube, you can pick it up anytime you want.
But can you get that in the county too?
Yes,
You can.
the YouTube is all over. In fact, we had people, where was that at? Somewhere overseas watching us. Some of the guys that were in the service, yeah, they were
Yeah.
watching us on YouTube.
And they have the reruns? on
When they
YouTube?
had the
Yeah.
reruns on
Reruns.
YouTube, they were watching us, yeah.
Okay.
I picked it up on
That was,
stgenevieve.org.
and I ran into a paper today. We started this program in 2011.
Uh-huh.
So we've been on several years now.
7 years now. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great. It's a good way for people to advertise things,
Yeah.
you know. I didn't realize it before until,
A lot of
Now that
people
we
don't
talk
even
about
know
it.
we're on.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So the
That's
word, as much as people in St. John talk, they're not talking about us.
Bad, I don't know.
Well, like you say,
That's
you get it out there on
good.
YouTube and it goes out everywhere.
Yeah,
so-
everywhere,
And
yes.
everybody
Uh-huh.
can get a
My
handle
daughter
on what's
thinks it
going
was
on
on
in St.
Carolina.
Genevieve.
And if people have relatives that, like you guys, you
Yeah.
can tell your kids and your cousins and your aunts and your
You
whatever
wanna see me on TV?
to watch YouTube, St. John TV YouTube.
Yeah,
And they go on there and then you can pick which week you want to watch. So
Okay.
you can watch the alderman meetings, you can watch, I think we have our own now. We used to be under videos.
We have
But
What's
now
New.
we're on What's New and the aldermen have theirs, the city. Yeah, so if you want to know what's going on in the city, you can watch
exactly.
on
Yeah.
there, on YouTube too, on St. John TV YouTube and see the meeting from the previous week.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's a
good.
lot of good stuff, and you can also make donations to
Mhm.
Channel 991,
Yeah,
Yes, it
which
is.
they need money to operate because it's all volunteer.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't get paid. We're celebrities, but we don't get paid.
Yeah, I know.
I was fortunate enough, these ladies have let me stay. Their
Well,
friend-
yes.
Their friend Mary Ann Otto was here, and then she passed away, and they went a couple, 3 weeks or so, a month or so, I don't know how
I
long.
don't know, remember how long.
How long without some, finally I told Mary Ann one day, I said, well, Mary Ann, I feel sorry for you. I said, if you need somebody to fill in once in a while,
Yeah,
give me a call.
That was a bad mistake. Because we just snapped her up just like that.
if they pay for all the volunteer hours you put in, there wouldn't be no money left.
That's right. That's exactly
See,
right.
these volunteer hours, I can claim on my papers in the auxiliary too.
Yeah,
so-
oh, exactly,
I don't get paid volunteer hours.
yeah.
And I've been with the workshop.
So
secretary
anyway,
for 42
everybody
years.
out there in the audience, you can watch us on those two medias on the internet and also on Channel 991.
And you can always find Jeanette at
So-
the Riverview during the day in her office. And Virgil, you can always contact him.
Oh, yeah,
We
everybody
always-
does.
If you don't see him,
So-
just ask somebody in the
Yeah,
Legion Hall.
exactly, exactly.
So
They know where they
we'll,
can find me.
yeah. So we'll tell everyone good night. Thanks
night.
for watching.
Okay.
And
Appreciate
thank you
being
guys
here.
for being
Yeah.
I
on.
really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank
both
you.
very
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Charlie, we're finished. Bye-bye.
Good night.